back now. Two of them, they're racing really hard. Be careful with them, guys. Coming. P-car one back. Minus 9.4 now. Minus 9.4. What do you want me to do? It's up nice and dry. At it. Hold on. We're looking at it. I'm jumping in. You're looking at the bed. I'm taking to the rear. Hit this lap. Hit this lap.
No breath, no heartbeat, just static remains. Hollow reflections, ghosts in the cold. So come burn down my escape. I wanna feel it, come drag me into the void. Let my circuits decay. I'm sorry, but it's too late. You never
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Okay. Welcome! Welcome, welcome, welcome! Mic check works. Alright, we're good. Anthony Wong, you are first. That is correct. You are first. Texer, you're third. You're definitely third. Zonley, you missed it. You're fourth, not second. Grumps is second. And Vader's fifth. So there's your top 5. Welcome, welcome. As much fun as I'm having with AMS2, it's a sandbox racing game. I have an itch I have to scratch for ranked play. I don't know what it is about ranked play. It's like, because the thing is that I don't care about the ranking. It's a number that means nothing. But for some reason, there's a certain sort of like drive to go do it, literally drive, that makes me want to. I don't know what it is. It's a dopamine spike. It's weird. Because I truly don't, like, I do not think about it for a fraction of a second when I'm not on stream. But for some reason, when I get on stream, I don't know why, an entertainment side of it is getting into some rank play. I think it's like this, like, you know, stupid brain trick where, like, you know, you tell yourself that it's actually serious and not just, you know, for fun, even though it's the same thing. Nice to know the average age of people watching. Where are you seeing that? Going on, Ace. All right, so I do have a poll up. This is what brings me to that conversation about ranked. Should I try LMU when the American DLC comes out? Despite them telling me to start my engines in the most generic American AI voice I've ever heard. The poll is, the choices are, yes, let's watch you rage, because you know I'm gonna. Or, no, or, I don't like you. All are valid replies. Everyone takes ranked slightly more seriously. It's true. It's true. But like, you could take custom lobbies seriously too. You know? No, LMU is not free. There is some aspects of it that is free, I believe, but no, a lot of it is DLC. The American tracks are likely going to be DLC. I only like ranked racing if it's done well. I think LMU does do ranked racing well, despite it still having its flaws. Speaking of which, when they announced it on July, they baited us for July 4th. They said, "Oh yeah, you know, coming July 4th," and all they did was announce like it was an announcement for an announcement, and the announcement was on July 4th. Going on, Grumps. So yeah, Forza Horizon 6, I mean, I don't know what to do with that right now. It's completely lost me. There's just no replayability to it. Like, I could have lots of fun chasing drag racing, but even that, I have so much money in the game just from playing the game that there's not even like a grind for it. I don't want to delete it because there's still a lot of it that I like about it. I need something to do. There's nothing for me to do in Horizon 6 right now. You know? Like, that's the thing. Like, there's one thing about Gran Turismo 7. Their single-player campaign, I wouldn't really call it a campaign, but you know what I mean. Their single-player experience was fantastic. I've been wanting that. That's what I thought AC Evo was going to give us. A reason to play offline. Forza did for about 100 hours. 100 hours is all I could... I mean, I got, as you can see, 160 hours in Forza. But a lot of that is wasting time. That's not like doing stuff. That's just complete dicking around, wasting time. You know? I don't know, man. I have over 1,000. Hear me out when I say that. I have over 1,000 hours in Gran Turismo 7, and none of it is in ranked player online against randoms. I played online with friends, like in custom lobbies, but that was it. The rest of it was all single player. I don't know, man. I expected Forza a lot more out of it. Because I had a lot of fun when I was playing it. And then you just hit a wall. And you're done. There's no reason to play it. Because the online shit is just unentertaining. If it was at least taken more serious... So if they took like... So for example, the spec racing of Horizon 6, I think is the best online racing. And it still sucks. Spec racing is cool because you get in a random stock car and you all race the same car. The shit I like, right? We all race the exact same thing. But there's two things about it that absolutely sucks. One, the people playing it are all kids, so they just intentionally hit you. And the game doesn't have repercussions for that. Obviously, it's an arcade game. It's not meant to be taken racing seriously. So there's no penalties for that. However, if you hit a wall, which naturally slows you down, you get a slowdown penalty and it forces your car to slow down. I'm hitting a wall. That's already slowing me down. That's the penalty. Exactly. It's so boring, slow boy. So, like, I'll be honest with you. I don't even want to do the seasonal shit. I lost interest in that. Who else in chat has Forza Horizon 6 and has completely checked out? I'm just curious. Meanwhile, the racing sims, you know, LMU, PMR, Race Room, even Rensport, make me want to go in and play. And I'm definitely not doing anything different in those. Those are definitely all the same. It's always the same racing. But it's like that competitive fun edge that makes you want to go back. That just doesn't exist in Forza. What's going on, Smurf? It's why I don't play Evo. Evo hasn't gotten... There hasn't been a reason for me to go back and play it outside of testing. Can't get the Moza R5 wheel to feel good? For what game? Or in general? I had a lot of fun in Horizon 6, and I hated Horizon 5, for whatever that's worth. You know? I did not like Horizon 5. But I really liked Horizon 6. My issue with Horizon 6 is that you just run out of content and there's zero replayability. Bottom line is, look at SteamDB on it. Here, let's pull up SteamDB. This is a hard fall off, man. Right now. 40,000, don't get me wrong, by comparison to Sims, it's huge, still. But the point is that add a 0 to the end of this. Add a 0 to the end of this. That's how many concurrents they had at one point. So it's not just us, or a few of us, that feel this way. Most people who have played this game have checked out already. And it's what? 2 months old? Not even? That's not good. It's a big-ass game. Look at Gran Turismo 7. 5 years old. Or 4 years old. 4.5 years old. Whatever. Bigger player base than it's ever had. And they're barely putting out content for it. When you harness an addictive property, a dopamine hit, it works for people. And there's no dopamine hit for Horizon 6. Good morning, working stocks. Any tips for Forza 6 and Moza settings? Honestly, I don't. Forza's tough in general on wheelbases. All right, let's get AMS2 booted up here. Been rambling for a minute. I wish PMR would get its act together, man. PMR's a game I really want to play. I mean, if this had ranked play, I'd want to play this even more. But I do, like, 'cause I even think about that today. I'm like, man, do I really want to jump onto some PMR today and jump into some ranked? And then I remembered that there's going to be 6 people playing it. And it's going to be Menu Simulator. At least until the next update, hopefully. But, like, man. Can I do a lap around Road Atlanta? Sure, I'll do a lap around Road Atlanta. What do we want to drive around Road Atlanta quick? I hope they add the Mustang GT3. I don't know why I've that car has gotten a lot of cadence lately. Become like a big car that people really like. Morning, Rob. Are you joining me today? They added this car. Curious what their Super V8's like. I've never actually driven one of their Super V8 car. It's a Holden, so. Avalon. Alright, let's go to Road Atlanta quick. Although, ironically, this would be where I would do it, right? Alright, let's see. Morning, Turtle X. Alright, let's do for the sake of Jack, we're going to do a lap in a Super V8 around Road Atlanta. It doesn't sound bad, but it doesn't sound like an LS. It sounds way too smooth and high-pitched to be an LS. Either way, I don't mind the sound, but from an accuracy standpoint, it is a conversation piece. What's going on here? Maybe it'll sound different under load. Unlikely, but I don't care about you. Fun fact, I don't know this track very well. Even though I've driven on it a ton, I'm just bad at it. I've never spent the time to like grind and learn on it. It drives like a Super V8. It drives good. Gotta get used to the braking of AMS2, man. You gotta brake harder in AMS2. You have to. Oh! I tried kicking it sideways. She didn't like it. She didn't like it one bit. Oh my god, AMS2 grass is not worth fighting. Just get back, do the reset button. When you're in the grass on AMS2, Oh my god. Alright, there's your lap. There's your lap. Get a lobby going. Let's not waste any time. Robert, since you're joining me, do you want to jump right into the Super V8? Super V8s. That is a Super V8. The F V8s, the formulas, or do you want to try some other cars? Best ice excavator from the North Pole? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, create multiplayer session. Mess around with weather patterns. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the AMS2 grass, man, but they like to punish you. That's for damn sure. All right, let's do... Let's start with overcast. I know, and then we'll go to light clouds. We'll just test the waters out here. Number of laps. We definitely need more than 2. So 5. Racing Life World. I don't even know what that is. I don't know who the hell EKR is. Now, what car do I want to do? Screw it. Let's just do the F1, the GT. GT. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Jump on in, Roy, but... Mods, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Career mod? Oh, that I have not tried. I thought it said career mode. I was reading career mode. That's why I was confused. No, I don't know anything about a career mod. Admittedly, I've looked into modding recently for this game an absolute 0 amount of times. I try to not get too wrapped up in modding. As much as there is a lot of cool things in modding. I kind of push the base games because, well, most people play base games. I gotta get myself out of the GT mode. I'm in GT mode right now. Welcome to Thunderdome, Robert. Yeah, you can pretty much power through that for what it's worth, Rob. That particular section right there, you can just coast. You don't have to hit the brakes. Just find my lobby prices and join it. Yeah, the biggest thing about racing F1 cars, especially some of these that have, like, this car has TC, not underdriving them is the problem. You're used to GT cars, and that's what I say when I say, you know, or that's what I mean when I say I gotta get out of the GT mentality. Because if I drive in with a GT mentality, I will heavily underdrive this car. No problem, slow boy. That's cool about the mod. Oh, that's cool about the modding. I'll have to look into that more. A little too hot, a little too hot. Oh, so close. So close to making that clean. I mean, I think this is a way better game than LMU, period, but it's also been around longer. As far as a bright future, I mean, I don't think it's ever going to be as popular as LMU unless they give you a ranked play. If this game never gets a ranked play, it's never going to be as popular as LMU. Because if you eliminate ranked racing from LMU, that game loses, I'd say, 85% of its player base. I think that's the only thing that holds AMS2 back, is its lack of ranked play. Now you're getting it, Robert. I've seen, for what it's worth, I have seen pretty bad netcode in LMU as well. Unfortunately, netcode can never be perfect because there's just too many anomalies. Oh, Oh, way too hard on the brakes right there. Or late on the brakes, I should say. Which game would have a better built-in career mode? This game, for sure. This game, without a doubt. Without a doubt, this game. It would definitely be a lucrative package for sim racers, that's for damn sure. I love this game. This was my, like... Well, it kind of still is my go-to, despite not playing it as much. But... Like, to me, it's the... If this game had rank play, it would be the title. But it doesn't, so... That would require an entire ecosystem. I don't think any of these titles are ever going to be Gran Turismo. I haven't had that experience yet, Ash, but I find with this game I play with a lot more Americans. Whereas in like games like PMR, there's so few people playing it that I play with people all across the world. So you're more likely to encounter some really, really funky network issues. I got hit continue this whole time. Alright, so it's going to start off cloudy. You're welcome, Slick. I put that one up there for you. No, I'm hoping PMR can claw its way back. Because I think PMR has a... It's hard to say advantage. It's hard to say advantage. But they have a rank play that they have to sort of rebuild. But they have a rank play, and I do think a lot of their... I think I figured out yesterday what I really like about PMR's driving over over AMS2 and all other titles, and that is its suspension. The suspension of, suspension travel in cars in PMR. It's really nice. Really nice. I mean, it all comes down to priceless. Any game, every sim title has started off bad. Started off bad. This is a fact. You can't name a title that didn't start off like shit. PMR has one extra thing going in its favor, or lack of favor, and that is the name associated with it, particular person's name. Even though they have, like, nothing to do with it anymore. But anything can come back. If they squander it, that's on them, but the point is that any game can come back and be successful. It just comes down to money. Wait, we lost Robert. I was like, wow, he's really in my blind spot. And then I realized, wait, he's not on my radar either. I don't think the AI and PMR is shit, to be honest with you. I really don't. And with all due respect to you, that's obviously your opinion, but if you played all the titles all the time, you would see that PMR's AI is actually not that bad in comparison to what it's working with for all of the other sim titles. AI is pretty bad in just about everything except for iRacing, honestly. In fact, the AI in LMU is garbage by comparison. They are absolutely terrible. Alright, well, I'm not going to finish this race if it's just me, so. Next race it is. But, like, I compared this game's AI to PMR's AI yesterday, and honestly, I had more. I think the AI in this was a bit more polished, but I had more fun with the PMR AI because I felt like I was racing real people, average people, but real people nonetheless. Whereas this feels like I'm racing an algorithm, you know. And I don't want that. I don't ever want to feel like I'm racing. I want to feel like I am racing genuine randomness. Like decision making on the fly. You know, that would be my ideal AI. Following a perfect line, how fast they are, this, that, and the other thing is less of a burden to me. I want the AI to feel like I am racing real people. And the only way to give you the feeling of racing real people is to introduce randomness. Random decision making, not stupid decision making like crashing into someone. Although maybe you could have a what's the Drivatar from Forza who memed hard. Bowie knife, that's the one. Like I would love to have an AI that you have to try and avoid. I do think PM, by the way, Straight 4 has talked about this. They hinted this in their last AMA. Their goal for their AI is to introduce personalities. So like, oh, this is you don't want to be around this AI. He's going to try and crash you. He's going to get aggressive with you. Or this guy's a pussy. Things like that, you know? That's the kind of AI that I want to race. I don't care how fast or slow the AI is. I mean, I want them to be challenging, obviously. But I want it to feel like I'm racing different people and not just a standardized algorithm. And that's what it feels like in sim racing. The big part of why I'm like, meh. And that's why I like it. I actually enjoy PMR's AI more. Because although it's probably coding mistakes, it feels more randomized. And I enjoy that. Yes, Fogbound. I vote for an AI for me too. FPS1, Yuri, I don't know how to say that. Thank you for the sub. Do some spa. Let's try a spa race. My issue that I have with LMU is I do really feel like they force a lot of stupidity through difficulty. And by stupidity, I mean like, all right, so the last time I rage quit LMU, I was driving a Mustang GT3 on Le Mans. I spun out. I know why I spun out. I get it, and I'm not complaining about that. But I slid across the grass, and then the rear of my car directly squared off with the wall. I backed into the wall. Like, I hit the wall. Hard enough to do some bodywork damage, definitely destroy my bumper, but I don't even think it would have done rear end damage or hurt my tires outside of the flat spots I might have put on them from spinning out. But the game told me that I foobarred the engine. The car died and I couldn't restart it. I had to get a tow. I checked out. I completely fucking checked out. Like, the rear of my car hit the wall. Not hard enough to do driveline damage, in my opinion. Definitely bumper and cosmetic and maybe wing damage. But to tell me that the front engine car, from backing into the wall, blew the engine and I couldn't start the motor back up? Nope. I haven't played LME since. It's shit like that that makes me go, this isn't simulating anything except punishment. Unrealistic punishment. And if people like that, then by all means, go play that. Clearly, there's a bunch of people already doing that. But, I don't know, man. I've been rear-ended in a car in real life. Pause. Had the back of my car completely wrecked. Car started up, no problem, and drove away, no problem. Batteries in the back of the car. The car still had, car could still crank. Electronics still worked. Everything still worked. The engine just wouldn't fire. And I had the little indicator saying my engine was junk. So, like, there's just no, like, there's no rationalizing that with me. I should try the other car in this class. But admittedly, I've only, I like the look of the, Oh, my guy. EJR Racing. F1 are my favorite cars in AMS2. Yeah, they teased it on Instagram too. Usually when they start teasing stuff like that, we're getting it soon, like real soon. Well, my guess, if I had to guess, we're going to see the test track before we see the next update. It's EJR, uppercase, space, racing, capital R. But it should be easier to find than that. You am PMR, Trev? I agree on that, Fogbound. I mean, I'm like, there's a couple things in the test center that I think are cool, but like, need a working game. Like, AMS2 works. It has no rank play, but, like, it sucks, because, right, there's a lot in PMR that I like driving comparatively better than AMS2. But what do I like about AMS2? I fire it up and I don't have any problems. The game doesn't crash. The game doesn't have, like, broken visual random anomalies that are introduced with a no update. And then have to get a hotfix. Although it does get hotfixes, so I can't fully, you know. My point is that it's a reliable game. And yes, I think PMR will eventually be that reliable game. But I'll admit I've grown quite frustrated with it. I still very much like it. But I'm still frustrated. I'm frustrated because I like it. Like if one day LMU disappeared and everybody stopped playing it, I wouldn't bat an eye. Wouldn't even think about it. I would be disappointed if PMR, Trey 4 announced they were calling it quits, you know? Because I think most of us do see the potential that could be. It's like they're just picking the longest possible road to get to that goal. Very fond of your ex, but she still annoys the heck out of you. Well, that's why she's your ex, after all. See, the problem is Cool Mods, is that, so for me, if I'm going to put just the driving in a vacuum, right? So by that I mean you get in a car by yourself on a track and you go around the track. To me, for me, PMR is the best racing title in the industry. But I also come from the point of that PMR's relevance to me is that I enjoy the driving in it so much. Because it is the closest thing to what I consider to be realistic. Despite so many sim racers saying it's completely unrealistic. But all they've ever done in their life is sim race. They've never driven a real car. But, and that's not all sim racers. I'm just saying the loudest ones, usually the ones that have done the least. That's pretty much everything. But the driving in PMR is what I love about it. Collisions are rough. That needs work. Netcode, generally speaking, always needs work, but that's kind of like every game. Career modes, for me, it doesn't give me enough of a reason to want to play it. I'd rather just do single races, but that's always been my case. Career modes for me are tough sell. You really gotta get me on the grind. You know, you gotta capture that RPG sort of like Final Fantasy or whatever you call it, that MMORPG style gameplay where like you get me wanting to go race against AI and I'm addicted to it. Oh, whoa, I don't know why I lost the rear end right there. Oh, that works, thank you. Slick. Oh, you're not kidding. I think I spun out because I went into first gear and had the rear end locked. With these cars, for me, it's really hard to wrap my head around having more pace than someone and having to drive around their pace. GT cars, it's a lot easier to do that because the cars are so much slower. But these things are so fast that when you get stuck in your own little pace and you have more pace than someone that's in front of you, it might get very easy to want to drive right through someone accidentally. Like, here's the thing, to reference, like, my point, though, Slick. You have, like, the gamer muscles, right? I think Gamer Muscle has a very valid opinion when it comes to comparing sim to sim in the vacuum of comparing things to sim racing. I think he has a very, very, very valid opinion. But when it comes to, like, comparing it and saying things like, oh, I don't like AMS2 because they don't drive like real cars, well, you've never driven a real car. So, you know, if you say I don't like AMS2 because it doesn't drive like Assetto Corsa, and Assetto Corsa is my favorite sim, perfectly valid. I totally get it. I totally get it. But when you're comparing it to something factually, to something you've never done, and I don't mean like you haven't driven like an F1 car, so your opinions of car driving in general is completely void. No, I mean like you don't drive cars, period. At least that's, I don't know, I've never had a conversation with the guy, so maybe he has, and the things that people say are all wrong. But from my understanding, the biggest complaints that people have about him is that he doesn't drive anything in real life. He's never driven anything. So if that is the case, how can your opinion be that this doesn't drive like a real car when you have never done the thing you're comparing it to? you know? Cool Mods, from my understanding, no, he does not. Like, at all. I could be wrong, but that's just what the perception has been given to me, is that he has never driven anything. And for what it's worth, there's a lot of things he says that I agree with. But then every once in a while, he comes out and says something that's like just really, really, really ignorant. And it's like, you need to loosen the reins on that thought process, you know? And for the reference, I'm not saying you have to be some kind of like super experienced guy in real life that's driven all sorts of cars or some shit to have a valid opinion. I'm saying you would be shocked how much you will learn about physics and tires driving a minivan. You take a minivan and you beat the shit out of it and push it to its limit, you will learn a shit ton about physics and tires. You don't need to have an crazy expensive, super awesome, badass slick tire. You can use a Sumitomo all-season garbage-ass tire and learn tires. Physics are physics. They don't go away. Because it doesn't say race on it. I learned, this is going to sound ridiculous, but I learned the most about driving over the limit and just the limits of cars and tires driving a 1994 Pontiac Grand Prix. 160 horsepower, front-wheel drive, automatic, total piece of shit. But that car taught me more about driving than any sports car I've ever owned. Because I was reckless and I was dumb. But from a knowledge standpoint, you learn when you make mistakes. The best, anyway. I mean, cool, it could be a running joke. I don't know the guy. He might be an actual professional race car driver. I'm just going on what the public sentiment is about what all I ever hear about him is. And in that regard, I'm saying if he's never driven a car before, you can't say what is or is not compared to real life in a sim, in my opinion. You can compare to other sims, that's totally cool and totally valid. But you can't blanketly say, I don't like this game because it doesn't drive like a real car when you've never driven one of those. I understand that, Mike, but what I'm saying is, like, trust me, I come from that world. All sorts of tires, carcasses, compounds, everything is all designed to have a different purpose. But the point is that it doesn't matter what tire it is. Physics are physics. They do not change. Limit, before and after, all of that stuff. Physics is physics. And I wouldn't necessarily say street tires are for safety by comparison. Maybe for longer lasting in different terrains like wet and snow and stuff like that. But from a competition standpoint, if I had ever had to build another sports car again, I would not be putting it on street tires to put it on the limit. I'd be putting it on the grippiest motherfucking tire money could buy. And I'd be flying through tires left and right. That would be the disadvantage, is it cost me a lot more money because I'd be burning them up. Street tires would last forever, but get no grip in the process. The F1 games they for a racing title, F125 does really well. But I also think F125 is a really good game. Of all of the like arcade, I would actually call that a simcade. I know that's a made-up word, but I would call it a simcade. I think it's a a very good title for what it is. If you were to compare it in the vacuum of games like Forza and Gran Turismo 7 and stuff like that, I think F125 is a solid game. Here is Gamer Muscle driving real cars. Is there a link or something? Like I said, he might very much drive real cars. I'm just going on what the world seems to say. You know? And by the way, I didn't mean to make that like a, punching at Gamer Muscle thing, because I'm sure it'll be like, oh, I'm just attacking somebody, but I'm not. I'm not attacking somebody at all. I've actually said oh, there goes my wheel. Hard locked right, because the game interrupted me. Mid-session. Return to lobby. It's gonna hard lock right. There it is. Oof. All right, let me run to the bathroom quick. I'll be right back, and then I'll read some comments because I missed a bunch. Ugh. I'll tell you, this whole drinking a gallon plus of water a day is kicking my ass. Just so you guys know, I'm gonna be pissing like 15 times today. Why is this going? It shouldn't be going. He has terrible takes about street cars. That I very much agree with. I think street cars are some of the most fun cars to ever drive. And now, mind you, I haven't obviously driven a shit ton of race cars, but I have driven some race cars, slower ones. And I don't know, man. I'm a street car guy. I've always been a street car guy. For me, cool race cars have to be fast race cars. Like GT race cars, like GT3s, GT4s. I'd rather build a street car. I'd rather have a badass street car. Truly. Now, put a Group C in front of me. Like a Sauber C9 or a 787B. You wouldn't be able to get me out of that car once you put me in it. Anybody ever seen the movie Driven? The horrible F1 movie with Sylvester Stallone? That scene where they're racing each other through the city? That would be me in a Sauber C9. Only unlike the movie, I would end up in prison when I was done. He's a fool. Like I said, there's a lot that he says, Gamer Muscle says, that I agree with, and I think he's very valid on, and I think he's got a lot of experience. He has a ton of experience sim racing, which gives him a lot of benefit of the doubt when talking about sim racing. Hardware, what games are good, what games don't feel good, this, that. All of those are valid critiques and opinions that he has that I think should be held to a decently high standard. But when he starts talking about comparing a sim to real life, based off of the things that I've heard about him, again, I don't know the guy. Maybe he is an avid real-world driver too, or just driven a lot of things in real life, whatever. Point is, everything I hear about him says he's never done any of that. But then again, I hear a lot of shit said about me too. But like, I have a lot more real-world driving sort of experience than I do sim racing. And for some reason, I get shit on for that, you know? Oh, well, he hasn't been sim racing crazy long. You're right, I haven't. I haven't taken sim... I've been playing racing video games my entire life, but only until more recently did I start diving hard into the sim racing space. And there is a lot of pride in this space, man. Let me tell you, there is a lot of pride. I agree, Grumps. And I do think, I still believe that is genuinely a problem in sim racing, is that they are, and I've said this so many times, and I continue to get shit for it, but I'm going to keep saying it, and people are going to keep giving me shit, and it's going to be this endless cycle. So one of us needs to stop, and I'm not gonna. Because, like, this, at the end of the day, you have to come to my YouTube channel to get my opinions about things, right? You don't have to do that. You don't have to watch. But I do think that in sim racing, there is definitely an aspect of forced difficulty to create a skill gap. I think it's unnecessary because there will always be a skill gap. If the game is super easy or the game is super hard, there's still going to be a massive skill gap. Because if the limit is further away, the fastest guys are just going to go that much further past the limit and control it that much better than you anyway. So there's always going to be a skill gap. I think, believe it or not, there are some aspects of Rennsport that I actually think is very good on that. Tires in real life work exceptionally well, guys. Like, is it me or is every... Oh, it might not be every car. Let's see. That's Lamberto. Like, tires work so damn good in real life. So damn good in real life. I mean, I think it's people coming and leaving the lobby and stuff like that. I think that's what's causing the stuttering. Like, I had a... So... The over-the-ponders will know it as a Holden Monaro, but I had a Pontiac GTO. It was a naturally aspirated 6-liter Pontiac GTO. It made, I think, 465 horsepower at the tire through an automatic. I never got my 10.9 out of it. I went 11.0 though. Consistent 11.0, 11.1 nonstop in the quarter mile on the factory 17-inch wheels on garbage Sumitomos. Each tire cost $70. They had a 500 tread wear, which is rock hard tire. I had exceptional grip in those things. Yes, it was an automatic. Not a stick car. Stick car would have been harder to get that going down the road. But stick cars are always harder. But the point, though, is that was from a dead stop. I was able to run those times on that tire. Oh! What GT3 would I like to own and race IRL? The familiar part of me says the Mustang because I've had them. But at the same time, I like variety. I like experiencing things I'm not going to experience. So it would have to be one of the more expensive real-life cars. Rob T, thank you for the sub. So either one of the Lambos, the AMG. Because right now, if I wanted to, I could go to the dealership and get myself into a Mustang GT. Do a whole bunch of work to it, make it faster than a GT3. Not necessarily around a racetrack, but in a straight line for sure, easily. My point is that from a relative standpoint, I could experience a Mustang tomorrow if I wanted to. I don't want to. I don't want to spend money. I like money. But I couldn't do that with, you know, a Lamborghini. I couldn't do that with some of the more expensive cars. So for me, if I had to race a GT3 car, I would want to get as close to the street car experience that I couldn't ever afford to do or want to afford to do in real life. I'd have to drive one of the more expensive cars. That would be my best answer, honestly. Yeah, I had the older variant because they had only Australia got the newer Monaro. The US didn't. So we had the older body style. Same car. Americanized front end, labeled it Pontiac. No longer a Holden. My car literally... when I say the factory... Imagine this car right here. Everything you see here. What this looks like. No spoiler, because I had a spoiler delete, because I hated the spoiler. So it looked more like this, but silver. With these wheels, and a street tire. A garbage, not even like a good... street tire. A shitty street tire. Naturally aspirated. With a 6-liter still. Going 11.0. The funny part is that the tire mattered so little that I could have put a real tire on it and I would have gone 11.0. The tire was not the limit. The car's acceleration was. I couldn't get any more 60-foot out of it. I couldn't get anything more out of it. I would have had to have changed things to the car to get the car to go faster. Changing the tire would not have gone a fraction of a second faster. And that was on a garbage tire. So I get very frustrated when Sims put me in cars that I know are slower than cars that I've driven in real life. And I'm going in a straight line, and I'm spinning through third gear on a real tire. Like that, like when they made the adjustments to the NGTs in PMR, and I bitched and whinged about the lack of traction that's now in the M3 GTR. It had nothing to do with driving difficulty. It had to do with irrational levels of difficulty added in a way that didn't make sense for what the car was. I'm in a straight line, and I floor the throttle, and first, second, and third just continues to spin down the road. That part is not accurate. That's what drove me nuts. Remember what I said about this being reliable? I don't know what's happening right now. Because you know why? Because I bitched about the BMW. Because I bitched about the BMW. That's annoying. That's annoying as sin right there. But yeah. That's so annoying. We had so many fucking people in that lobby. And the problem is nobody ever joins a lobby with one person in it. They join the packed lobbies. Anyway. Sim racing is serious business. Now, I do very much enjoy it, though. I can't lie about that. Regardless of what people say and different opinions and stuff, I still enjoy it. I enjoy most of the people. Most of the people. Met some cool dudes. That's for sure. And I'm sure Gamer Muscle's a cool dude, too. Truly. I'm sure he's a cool dude. There's only been a few people that I've seen when they speak that I'm just, like, I'm turned off from, like, any level of conversation with them. I'm not going to say who they are because I'm not trying to, like, be that person. But Gamer Muscle is very much a person that I could definitely get along with. We would have disagreements, without a doubt. But I think we'd get along. He looks miserable. I'm pretty miserable. You know, we'd probably get along just fine. All right. Limberto, if you're listening, join this lobby. I do miss that Monaro. Or I call it a Monaro because that's what it was. I hate calling it a GTO because it was not a GTO. But I do miss that car. But I miss the Boss 302 I had a lot more. That was definitely my favorite of the two. Yeah, I got disconnected, slow boy, so join up on my new one. Oh, you're already in, never mind. Ignore me. I don't know why I got disconnected. I really don't. Look at the force feedback, man. It's not oscillating, but it's right there off center. Priceless, I did not see you get bumped because I got kicked from my own lobby. You getting in here, Mayhem, or what? This is slowly becoming one of my favorite cars in all of sim racing to drive. And I won't dare compare it to the real thing. For obvious reasons. And I don't care. See, like, this is what I was referencing before. I can't compare this thing to the real thing, and I never even try. But I can compare it to other sims that have done it and tell you what I like better. And I think, like, you know, if Gamer Muscle doesn't drive cars, then that's still a very, like, he likes AC a lot. So if he said, I don't like AMS2 because I like the driving better in AC, valid. Totally valid. Yeah, online racing is, it's a different breed. Like I said, that's why I like my AI to feel random and not predictable, because that's online racing. There you go, Robert, finding that pace. Oh, I blew it. I blew it. Fuck me. I tried to make sure I didn't interrupt his line, and all I did was put myself way out of the groove. All right, good enough. We got people in here. I'm good. Because right there, I was trying to make sure I didn't interrupt his line, so I went inside, and I needed to be outside, behind him, and the last thing I want to do is drive into the back of him and screw up both of our quali laps, and once I went inside right there, the little S-curve, I was out of the groove the whole time, so, is what it is. Yeah, I definitely got a 58 in her for sure. Obviously, I had a 58 in her. Probably got a 57 in her. That was 59. Gotta get Lamberto in here. I gotta see how fast the alien is. It better be a booty call, Mayhem. That's all I'm saying is it better be a booty call. Did anybody watch the short I put up yesterday about PMR and the phasing with the collisions? I'm just curious. Anybody who's in chat, did anybody watch it? Wasn't anything special or anything. It was just a short. But I was very confused by one of the comments I got on it, saying that that was like real life and that wasn't, and that statement wasn't sarcasm. And like, I was so confused because I can't tell if it's sarcasm or not. I've met enough people in sim racing to know that people live outside the constructs of reality. So I never know when people are kidding and when they're being serious anymore. I truly don't. We're going to play that song for the race. I like that song. So what should I do for ranked play, guys? Serious question. There we go. That was shit. Whoa, a little sideways action right there. Ah! Sounds like music from Matrix Reloaded, Highway Chase. Yeah, it does, huh? Ironically, it's made by AI, so... Ah! I tried to push, couldn't do it. Screwed up these last 2 laps pretty bad. There's really no point of the 7th gear in this car. I mean, if I remove downforce, probably. F1 is a new breed. Well, we can change it up. We can bounce out of the we can come into some GTs if you guys want. Let's jump into a GT for a second here. Not GT3. GT1. I need my Viper. I love the Viper. It's funny, though, how a different game's presentation of a car can make me have different preferences. For example, in AMS2, the Viper is hands down my favorite GT05 car. But in PMR, this is my least favorite. Well, maybe not my least favorite. I think the Maserati is. But the Viper is at the bottom, for sure. Remember, these start on cold tires, unlike the F1s. Like I said, it entirely depends on the generation. Modern GT cars, I like a Formula wheel. I have my Zeus Formula wheel on order. That'll be here, I think, next week. But for older cars, I like a round wheel. Gotta get on those brakes, man. That's my problem with AMS2. The me problem. I don't hit the brakes hard enough. I'm so, like, used to PMR. You gotta get on the brakes gently. This, you gotta get on the brakes hard. AMS2 understeer, man. Just about getting used to it, that's all. AMS2 has a lot of understeer. The big part of why I kind of prefer F1 racing in this game to GT racing. I've never been much of a fan of the way GTs drive in AMS2. There's a lot of cars that drive really good, older cars, but a lot of the stuff in this I don't really like. Just a preference. The understeer is insane, man. Insane. Alright, I don't... F1 cars and what I'm sticking to in this is what it is. I just can't do the understeer of GT cars in this game. I don't know what it is, man. They should just put a plow on the front of every car. This is where PMR is a lot better. I really think AMS2's got something with the formula racing. Like something really special. And I think a lot of the GT stuff is very average. What's up with the stutter struggle? Oh, I forgot this game stutters when people join and stuff. Right now, it's on fixed setups, Cool Mods. You can't change any of that. But you shouldn't have to. That's my biggest complaint with a lot of this stuff. You shouldn't have to make changes to a car to get basic handling characteristics out of a car. You know? Yep. Look at that. There is zero suspension. Zero suspension travel right there. Oh! I thought he was going to hold it. I thought he was going to hang that the whole time. But look at that. Look at the tires. No suspension travel of any kind. I love AMS too, man, but they got to work on their GT stuff, man. I don't know what it is. Look at it. No suspension travel of any kind. The wheels are just spinning inside the wheel wells. Come on, FedEx, hurry up. Yeah, GT driving. All right. I was giving you the pass there, Trev. Yeah, we're going back to F1 cars. Going back to F1 cars. I'm checking out quick in this thing. Viper GT05. These cars drive a lot better in PMR. Like a lot better. They the problem with them is they understeer. They got no front end grip in this game. None. You're driving around in a Viper and you might think it's got skinnies on it or something. It's got a shit ton of rear grip, but no front grip. And it's a Viper. The fronts are wide as shit too, though. That's the thing. Vipers have disgusting levels of grip. Like, they really are gross. How good they do everything. Don't get me wrong, I could get used to it, but it's like... I'd rather get back in the F1s, because the F1s are awesome. They confirm the Viper's not returning. That does suck. It should. It's just what the reality is like, I fully understand why that is the way that is. We're heading in a direction where the future is nigh. Video games are unaffordable. Technology's unaffordable. You think motorsports on the street world is going to survive? Absolutely not. And yes, J-Pass, my driving skills are fantastic, I know. Yes, I do. I will agree. I like AMS2's hypercars a lot. Makes sense. It should. It's a Viper. Vipers are phenomenal cars. They're the best at literally everything they try and do. The only reason Vipers are ever as slow as they are is because they're dumbed down. These cars are insane. I could get used to these cars again, but like I said, there's so many other things in this game that drive awesome. It's hard to want to, you know? PMR is more fun than these, for sure. They just have too much understeer. If you could grip up the front end just a little bit more in these, it'd be a lot more enjoyable. Alright, let's switch up. Yeah, the understeer is crazy. Agreed. Go Road America, and let's do... Let's try the GTEs. I haven't driven the GTEs in a hot ticket. Yeah, I guess we'll try the Porsche out. Just call me, what's his name from, F1? Sonny Hayes. Don't you love the guys that just drive by and talk some shit and then bounce? The internet, undefeated. That's so weird, Trev. I don't know why you have issues. At least you talk shit and stay. Exactly. It's always the no-lifes, though. That's the thing. That's what they are. They're no-lifes. These already have way more turn-in than the GTs. Like too much by comparison. I'm barely turning the wheel and it wants to go backwards. Yeah, I like driving this already way better than that other class. All right, just go. Just go. Well, choking up on throttle right there, I suppose, is a thing. You can feel this thing wants to be a Porsche. It wants to lose the rear end. Think there is a bug? Going off way. There could be a bug. I haven't experienced anything different like that, bug-wise, with this game. I mean, I had my first disconnect, and I think ever, today. But yeah, these are really nice to drive. These are really nice to drive. There's still got to be an issue, though, on your end, Trev, because we're playing the exact same game. You know? I shouldn't have downshifted. That was stupid. Oh shit, I qualified in front of Limberto. Uh-oh. Son of a bitch! Brake too late. I don't care. Full stop. I'm just guessing at braking zones. Truly. Totally winging it. I would have had Lamberto still. I had a second and a half off my lap time there. And I probably would have got more. Oh, well. Oh, well. Yeah, look how fast this guy Apex was. Here's the guy behind me. He's flying. There's a lot of fast guys in this game. My biggest problem is jumping from title to title. I never give myself enough time to improve in a single title. Doing that. And I'm not good enough for muscle memory. Appreciate that, buddy. Dude, homie, you see me there, right? Yeah, good. Have a nice day. Oh, fuck. I like these GTEs a lot. What the fuck? I don't like the people playing, though. That's for damn sure. Oh, I can't even stop. Thanks, Pena. Appreciate that, buddy. Can't tell if that was intentional or not, but I'm going to have to do private lobbies, man, if I want to do this practice stuff. The three, Apex, Spectre, and Lamberto were driving like they were trying to race. Everybody else that got near the pack would just dive bomb and push you off the track. Fucking people, man. Sim racing is just toxic. It's just toxic. Yeah, I believe that, slow boy. Hey, Art. Next minute, Mummy's a dick next to the twat. Yep. It's very true. This car turns in so well. Like, it's actually difficult. You gotta get used to it. I prefer asshole. What's going on, AJ? You know it. You know it, Oil Slick. Hey, 2055, 2 seconds faster than I was in quali. Look at that. Who knew practice makes you faster? Weird. Again! Good, good, Pena! Have a nice fucking day! You crashed yourself! Drove into the back of me and crashed yourself! Congratulations! God. Nothing feels better than when karma gets delivered properly. See, like in PMR, I would have died from that. I'd have lost that, and he would have kept going. I haven't driven the M8 in this yet. And then again, I haven't driven a lot in this. I think he did. I'm pretty sure he did. He hit me twice and rage quit. Imagine that. Like dive bombed me. You know, like, that's the thing, too. I recognize if someone has a shit ton more pace than me, yeah, I'll let you go around me. But when you try and get aggressive and just crash me, then I'm never gonna let you by. Can't see where I'm going! Yeah, it's my other lobby that's still going, I guess. I'm gonna have to start making these private. I don't know, I just don't have enough people playing this game that I can make a private lobby and get some people in it, you know? Yeah, he seems like a rational thinking person, Slick. Digital Treadmark. We can't have any of that in this world. Balanced opinions? Positives and negatives? Now, fuck that. Fuck that. Smile through the pain. I'm working on it. We're real cheese people! Sargento. I wonder how much that cost. Truly. I'm not going to lie, for this being my first GTE drive in AMS2, I like it. I like it a lot. For how much I don't like GT3s and how much the GT05s are like, meh, they're okay. You can get used to them. They just understeer too much. These are really nice. Oh. Yeah, no ABS. They still got TC, just no ABS. That's how the GTEs are in general. You still get your ABS, but you don't get... sorry, you still get your TC, but you don't get your ABS. I love how pixelated the ghosting is. It's like a Game Boy game. Wow, pathetic. Are you serious? Desync ruined that race. That sucks. I don't know. This Apex guy's fast, though. 202. Hey, I got Lamberto's time, though. Look at that. Look at that. I'm officially better than the alien. 2055. Just kidding. I'm not better than the alien. Is that LMU's trait? To be honest with you, I don't know. I'm probably not the most versed in LMU. LMU is, I do know that, like AMS2 especially, if you use the default force feedback, this game is genuinely harder than if you use, like, an aftermarket one. So, take that for what it's worth on the force feedback for LMU. I really like LMU's detail, but I don't like their generalized force feedback. So I like their curbs and stuff feel really good, but I'm not a fan of their general movement force feedback. Make this interesting. Five laps. I'm gonna screw with people. They think it's gonna be all nicey nice. It's a beautiful day to go racing. About 2 laps in, they're not gonna be able to see shit. Have some fun. Booted because no DLC. Oh, Trev, what DLC don't you have? It must be the track. Digital, you saying with less spin with different force feedback? Almost went right. Okay. Fucking grass, bro. Yeah, Trev, that's the next update is join in progress for PMR. How well it's gonna work, I have no idea. But it is next update. It can work great in playtests and behind the scenes, but until you get the community in it, you have no idea what's going to happen. But yes. Well, realistically, if you got good drivers and someone who's stewarding the race well, you technically don't need that slick. You're reliant on a penalty system if there's no one that's actually acting like a steward. But if there's a human being behind it, you technically don't need the penalty system. I mean, the thing about track limits, though, is that you might not like the track limits, but they don't move. Oh, that's a thing. You know, you cannot like the track limits, but at the end of the day, you just got to adjust to them because they're not. If they were moving around, that would be a problem. But if the track limits are tighter than what you're used to, that's just a matter of getting used to it, you know? Oh, yeah, I gotcha. I'd say turn off the penalty system. Wow! It's so weird. I feel like I can push safely, and I can't. It's possible, Treadmark. Interesting. Interesting, Slick. Yeah, Robert, we'll do Laguna Seca next. A good looking livery. A Fanatec livery. Yeah, one step at a time, one day at a time in PMR. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. They need more staff. They need QA. They do really need to do something like they did in the beginning with, call it a beta testing task force. Factory driver program. They need to have that again. People testing for them, finding problems before they make it public, you know? Because at the end of the day, when you only have so much staff, there's just only so much you can do in the same amount of time. Have a good one, Digital. Thanks for stopping by. It does seem like a bummer that most of the problems on with PMR, though, are on, like, the game-specific problems are console-related. For a while there, it seemed like PC was not where you want it to be, and you wanted to be on console, but now it seems like PC's the place to be for PMR. And PC players don't give a shit about it, so. When you randomly have a person like that, the other guy that just strolled by and talked shit about me and PMR, most likely a PC player. Young kid, most likely. More of the crashing problems, like I don't get disconnected in PMR. Like, that is not a thing. I have never been disconnected from a ranked race. I don't get disconnected from customs. Not in a long, long, long time. But if you look, that's the biggest that's a huge complaint. I love it. Anytime somebody hits me, they crash. It feels so good. It's such a refreshing feeling that when somebody hits me, they crash. DSM, without saying too much, I kind of already do. But I'm saying they need to have that program available to the masses publicly. They need to, honestly, they need to have, like, in my opinion, like 100 people that are willing to test for them. Obviously unpaid. Like, that would be the perks of the job, is you get early access. But that's it. You don't get paid. Here comes the rain. Oh boy. Fog and rain is rolling in thick, boys. Oh no. What have I done? That's a track cut in half. Where's my warning? Why did it not give me a warning? That was definitely a track cut. I knew that was going to happen, too. I was inside. I knew I was in the throttle for too long, and I couldn't see where the... rain. Rain. Can't fucking stop. Yeah, I do think they absolutely need to do that. It's not that, and the thing is, the devs want to do that. The devs need help. But the decisions roll downhill, so... The problem, though, too, with that is that's really only going to be available for PC people, not consoles. And so it'll help the PC space. We need intermediates right now. And more skill, of course. But I can't go in the pits and download more skill. I can go in the pits and get intermediates. But this is the last lap, so... No idea. Well, I shouldn't say no idea. I suspect within a week, but I don't know. The test... Are you talking about the test track? If they've started teasing it, it's right around the corner. Because you guys know how PMR is. They don't say shit publicly until it's ready to go. Like all the other sims have like months of hype and hype and hype and hype. PMR doesn't say shit, ever. I wish they would. They're so, like, scorned. It's funny how, like, in the weather goes away. It's like they're so scorned from the launch that they just don't want to say anything ever. Trev, this is only 2020. This isn't an old game by any means. And, like... I do think it's something on your end, Trev. I don't know what it is, but I do think something's, I have no issues tabbing out of this game. There you go. I don't know, man. I can't duplicate the problems in PMR or in AMS2. I just can't. Not saying you guys aren't having them, but I'm just saying I can't duplicate them. It's not going to... Here's the thing, AJ. It's not going to be hardware. It's never hardware. It's always software. It's always software. Always software. It's very easy to focus on hardware because... But it's always a... I've building computers for a long time. It's always a software problem. Always a software problem. Windows... Something. Windows break shit all the time. Watch a lot of porn. I could break your video games. Computers. It's always software. I think I've had hardware issues maybe 2 to 3 times in my entire life. I have software issues daily with random shit. Like daily. To the point I despise Windows. Windows is the biggest piece of shit. I wish Microsoft would go out of business. And then Linux could take over. The world would be a better place if Linux was the one. Yeah, there's no tire changing even in fixed setups. Cool. Cool, cool. Yeah, I almost bought 96 gigs before the boom went. Before this AI boom happened. I was like, yeah, let me get it for future-proofing. And I didn't. And now I can't do it because it's like $2,000. I'm good. I'm good. Would have cost me like $350. Now it costs me a couple $1,000 for something I won't notice, won't ever use. I have 64. It's fast memory. Low latency, very fast memory, but I don't even need 64. 32 I'd be fine with. And I'm streaming, playing, I video edit, do everything. Now the VRAM on my GPU, that I want. Even though the 4090 is plenty. The extra 8 on the 5090 is nice to know that that's never going to be a problem. Because the way games are getting inefficiently made, VRAM is getting chewed up for no reason. So, yeah. Yeah, companies are bringing back DDR4. It's insane. It's totally insane. Like, Xbox raising the price of their Xbox Series X. I don't know what just happened there. Xbox Series X. It's a $900. When it was $500 6 years ago, I don't even blame Xbox for. Because it's AI billionaires. That's who you gotta blame. The guys building all these AI data centers. These are the scumbags of the earth, in my opinion. All of them. Every single one of them who endorses it. Piece of shit. Piece of shit. Total fucking piece of shit of a person. But like, the reality is Xbox's other choice, instead of raising the price of Xbox again, is to just not sell Xbox anymore. Those are your only two options. Because if you try to sell Xbox Series X for $500 right now, you'd be losing a couple $100 every console. They already didn't make money on them. or barely made any money. Their focus was give the consoles away for a fair price, make no money on them, make the money on the games. There's a difference between not making any money on something and then losing money on it. I want to say I was reading an article that the cost of an PS6 component-wise, which obviously is still not out yet, by itself is going to be in the 900s. I don't know how accurate that is. It's very speculatory, but I believe that. I'll tell you one thing, though. Having a super overkill PC has never... It's always felt like a waste of money, but I'm happy I had it because I like to, you know, flex on it because it's my hobby. But now I'm like, yeah. I do have an overkill computer still, but to build a middle-of-the-road computer, you have to spend what I spent. Thank your billionaires. Thank your AI douchebag billionaires. Now, the reality is I wish it was normal. I wish it was normalized. I hate this. I hate this shit. Watching your favorite industry potentially fail or become unobtainable, unless you're a rich person, sucks. Totally sucks. Fuck console. Hey, too bad. 2 weeks ago, you were a console player. Face hasn't been on screen this whole time. I want Microsoft to go out of business, though, truly. I don't want to work with Windows anymore. I want other companies to start. I want Linux to become mainstream. I hate Windows. It sucks liking computers and hating Windows. But I also simultaneously hate Macintosh. I just dated myself by calling it Macintosh. Was anybody around or even followed or paid any attention to computers when they were called Macintosh? Back when IBM was around? Is IBM still around doing shit? This Ida Borelli guy's really excited he's got pole. He's got pole with no time. Got the exclusive? What do you mean? Took the dive and got the exclusive. Microsoft just bought all... Dude, I'm so mad about ID Software. ID Software, the makers of Doom. Like, dude, kidding me? I'm all for, like, getting rid of garbage employees. Oh, are you talking about for this? Too bad. Dude, see, I wish I still had a CRT, man. I wasn't even born yet when it was called Macintosh. Are you in your 20s, Black Leopard? So do it again, too bad, unless it charged you. I don't know what you did wrong. I don't remember what my first computer was. It was a Macintosh. My first home computer was I think an Acer Aspire, Windows 95. Like my first family computer. Why compete when you can buy up the competition and fire them? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, maybe this is just black clouds looming and it's actually all a really good thing what Microsoft's doing. I doubt it because Microsoft is evil. But maybe this will lead to good shit. I don't doubt that the gaming industry is wildly saturated with garbage people that need to get let go. Everybody looks at firing people as bad, but dude, you know how many times employees need to get fucking fired because they don't the upper management doesn't do their job along the lines and lets people stay that they shouldn't let stay? You know, whatever happened to having to be good at your job to keep your job? I miss those days. But do we really think that everybody who's a developer is good at their job? Let's be honest. But ID Software, that was the wrong... I was on the fence about it, about all these layoffs. And then when they chopped ID Software in half. You lost me. You truly lost me. Which reminds me, I gotta play the Doom DLC. Yeah, I agree on that. The reality is when you see these big corpos absorbing other companies, that's bad. That's always bad. You are creating monopolies. Nobody likes working for Microsoft, I can tell you that. You are right, Fogbound. The greatest benefit is you could go and you could do the greatest job you've ever done and hit a home run and show up to work that next day and get fired. Yes, like that's what I was told, so hopefully that is they don't run into any issues beforehand. Yeah. That's why I'm self-employed. And not only am I self-employed, but I am a sole proprietor, so I don't even have employees. That's the only way I want to live. Only way I want to live. No, there's no downloading, too bad. You're just paying for licenses. All of the assets are already installed in the game when you download the game. That's how all games are, pretty much. Unless like a mod hub situation like in PMR. But like that's what I was saying about we needed to get an update to get the DLC cars, the GT icons, because the assets weren't in the game. Which is why we were going to get an update we needed to get an update prior to the DLC because there's nothing in the game. Couldn't see shit right there. I think I lost everybody I originally started with right now. Sounds good, Robert. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sort of checked out of this right now anyway. I don't even think any of the original people are in here. Too bad. I'm gonna start this over. So if you're in a lobby right now, rejoin my new lobby. Too many randoms in there. That's the lobby name, EJR Racing 2, even though there's technically 3. I like Le Mans, but it's just such an endurance track, and I don't have the patience for endurance right now. Not when I'm reading chat, doing other things. 5 laps of that. That's the rest of my stream. Bathurst. What do we want to do on Bathurst, though? Let's try Super V8s on Bathurst. Let's just see what it's like. Let's get the Super V8 out. Wheel, I mean. This isn't the Super V8 wheel, but I don't give a shit. It's my favorite one. Oh, good timing. Yeah, I definitely want to get some PMR going. I'm like, there is an itch there. I don't know what it is about that game, man, but it's just... Fuck. It mentally pulls me back in. Like, I just want to play it. Let's compare Super V8s in this to PMR Super V8s. That's me. Cold tires. It's funny. PMR has the Ford Falcon, and this has the Holden. They need to be in the same game, both cars. Damn, the exterior cam of this game sounds great. Oh, it just sounds good. Oh my god. Oh my god. That sounds so good. It's so hard to drive in third person. I don't know how anybody does that, ever. I'm gonna have to compare these next update. Super V8 Bathurst, Super V8 Bathurst. This is actually gonna be a really tight comparison, I'm not gonna lie. I like these both a lot. I'm a big fan of the Super V8 and PMR, and I like it in this as well. I'm definitely better with the PMR one, but that's just repetition. What? No. You can't let me fucking do a burnout against the wall? That's ridiculous. But listen to this exterior audio, man. That's a tight competition right there. I'll be honest with you. I don't know which one I like more. I'm going to have to do those back to back. I'm definitely going to have to do those back to back. I definitely, one point I absolutely give, which I knew I pretty much would do this just about everything. Exterior audio. AMS2. For sure. But other than that, though, that's a real fucking close competition right there. 1v1, too bad. Here we go. I'll wait for you a bit. That way we're racing. Too bad. What I recommend doing is binding reset to track to your wheel. The grass in this game sucks. And once you get in the grass, it's so hard to get out. I'm gonna blame the Thrustmaster. I'll just blame the Thrustmaster. The T598, goddammit. Jeff, I actually haven't driven the historical Bathurst in this yet. I do need to. I'm a big fan of historical Spa and Nords, so I'm sure I'll like it. He's losing the rear end a lot. I wonder what's causing that, because I'm not even close, and I'm like pinned right there. Because I right around that bend right there, my throttle was like locked. And it didn't even attempt to want to come out on me. Nah, he's on a wheel. He's too bad in the chat. Right above you. These cars drive very similar to the PMR cars. I wonder if his force feedback is just jacked up with this game. He's on a T598. Thrustmaster. Admittedly, I don't like him. The wheelbase, that is, not him. But, because he can drive these cars fine in PMR. And these cars drive very comparable to PMR. I'm not driving very differently than in PMR. I'm a little slower with them. But for the most part, they drive the same. All right, so I tried being aggressive there. So you can't quite full lock. You can't full lock early. You can full lock once you start to finish the turn off. But in the like I tried to lock right there immediately, and it does spin you out. So. These cars aren't popular, huh? There's only one in the game. There we go. Finally got some people to join. We're going to do historical spot, historical Bathurst next. Same cars. I would have to hear this car in real life, because it doesn't sound like an LS to me. It sounds good, but I'd have to hear this specific one, because it could be exhaust related, but it just doesn't have the tone of an LS. It's slightly too high-pitched. Admittedly, though, I really like the sound of it. Oh, we got a drag race. Ah, I pushed too hard. I got greedy. I saw the inside, and I was like, ooh, piece of candy. And I just pinned it. That was a mistake. Oh. I think he's running the same force feedback I am, Daniel Cart. I might be wrong on that. I don't remember. Maybe he'll answer in chat. James, the poll's a joke. Not meant to be taken serious. I don't take any of this shit serious. It's all for fun. Even when I rage, I'm leaning into it for the sake of being entertaining. The exterior of this sounds incredible. Oh, we didn't get all of it. But, dude, the exterior of this car... This game does exterior audio so good. So good, the exterior audio. Yeah. Same, bruh. Same. I want this car. The car we're driving, I want first in PMR. And I will never drive the Ford Falcon ever again. I am extremely partial to Holden's. Extremely partial to Holden's. Having my old GTO, aka Monaro. What it really was. GTO. It should have never... Honestly, I wish the Chevy division didn't do that. I wish they didn't call the Monaro the GTO. They should have just called it a Holden Monaro. Done. Alright, let's try historic. Oh, we got no chicane. Oh boy. On the road version of this car? Nice. One problem, need to call brake pad. Too bad, you just need some Simagic in your life, bro. Need some Simagic. I'd say use my affiliate link, but it's cheaper to... You're in the States, so... Getting it directly from Simagic is not the way to go. Getting it from a U.S. distributor is the way to go. It's still cheaper. Even if you use if you use my discount code on Simagic's website, it's cheaper than it is if you get it in the States until You get to that little shipping section. And then good old Mother America goes, tariffs! With a big stamp. I believe it's a Perkins-built race engine, maybe, why it sounds different from stock LS. I mean, don't get me wrong. Let me look up the specs of it. See if I can figure it out. Holden Super V8 LS specs. Because I've built a lot of LS motors. A lot of LS motors. So it's a... So they used... Looks like they used all of them. They got the 6-liter, the 5.7, the 6.2, and the 6.2 supercharged, the LSA. Do we know what's in this particular car? 'Cause it doesn't sound supercharged. Power output was... For the naturally aspirated LS3 builds, they were 436 horsepower. 10.7 compression. Yeah. I'm going to have to go ahead and say it's just the audio is just not accurate. Because I know exactly what that sounds like. And that ain't it. The supercharged ones were 580 horsepower. Same engine, though. 6.2 LS. And that doesn't sound like it's supercharged. Got a Maggie on it. Let me see if I can find. I doubt I will. Actually, I got the perfect car for you. The perfect car for you. Let me see if I can find an audio clip of it. Videos, car videos. I just got to find an audio clip of it where my exhaust isn't drowning it out. Because my car was louder. Well, here's an example of 420 horsepower LS. It's a shit video, though. That was a boneyard motor. Garbage motor. So, I mean, an LS3 will still sound a little bit better than that because it's got much better cylinder heads than I had on it in that race. That had shithole truck heads, 317 heads. Where is a video? Garbage. There's only a brief second where you can hear... This is the most similar sounding one, I would say, to it. And it's a very brief audio clip before my exhaust note takes over because I clearly pull away from him. But in the very beginning, you hear him... What I want to say he's starting in second and he shifts to third. And that audio note sounds similar. Come on. Dude, VLC player sucks. Right here. You'll hear the GTO on the beginning, aka Monaro. That sound. Maybe. Hold on. Alright, that's not as off as I would say. Because horsepower does sound better. More this thing does make more power than that GTO. It's not way off. Not bad. Not enough to complain about. I went on a massive tangent there, I know, sorry. What's I doing here? Let me catch up on chat. I haven't been reading shit. What's going on, Legacy? It really just comes down to what the build of the engine is. And from everything I just read online, now mind you, I could definitely do more research to try and get more like what. Well, we'll see when we go back to the lobby and I'll look up what the spec of this car is. You know? Well, the thing about the road car is that a road car can sound like whatever you want it to, because it's the street cars and you can do whatever you want to them, you know. And when it comes to like the GTO, aka the Monaro, I've heard just about everything from stock exhaust to production shelf exhaust to custom made exhaust. It's similar, but it's not about it's the pitch of the motor. That is where I'm disconnecting from the audio of it. I don't think PMR's is any closer by any means, but there's definitely some differences there. Either way, as much as we're nitpicking right now, I actually don't give a shit because I really like the sound of it. You know? We were doing that the other day. I was nitpicking the, oh yeah, the audio between this and PMR. PMR having just generalized better interior audio, and this game having much better exterior audio. This game does a much better job at capturing the overblown peaking microphone effect of recording exhaust notes. Have you ever had a loud exhaust on anything, and you hear it in person, and then you try and take a video of it, and it just sounds like noise? That noise has to be part of the capturing sound. If that like noise isn't there, it's not really accurate. If it sounds more like Gran Turismo 7, where it's clean and nice sounding, that's sounds good in a video game, but it's not real. Yeah, but the whine is there at idle. Your gears aren't whining at idle. I know what you're saying. I know what straight cut gears sound like. But the whine you're hearing here, it's either supercharged or they're going for something. Oh, okay. Great start. That came out of nowhere. What is this dude doing? Y'all thought PMR had bad connections. What? I gotta watch this. Oh, fuck the race. Bro, it might be time to unplug your internet and start over. See, this is what I'm talking about with video games. How is this guy connected? He needs to be disconnected. Luckily, I drove through him and he had zero repercussions. But, like... Dude, it's fucking with my eyes. It is totally fucking with my eyes right now. Dude, he's gone now, and now he's gone. No, he's right there. Oh my god! Dude, I don't know who your provider is, but it's time to, he's gone again. Outside of visually, this is probably the only part of the track that's different. No, he's much cleaner connection than that. Oh shit, I forgot. I already forgot. I was waiting for the chicane. Dude, this is like a horror movie. There. I can't. Oh, I can't. I'm reading chat now, like the in-game chat. Oh. Yeah, I see that. I see that, Ash. I've seen that. I don't know, man. Indie devs, I guess. There's a lot right with this game and a lot wrong with this game. Luckily, there's more right than wrong, but still. It's just the sim racing shit, man. No one has a perfect simulator. Drive like Toretto. Well, that's the thing, though, right? Like, this is why I feel like you need to, like, focus on this stuff. Because it's so easy to look at PMR and go, what a shit sim because of this, that, and the other thing. And then you get in all of the other sims that have been around... What? All of the other sims that have been around for a minute, and you see the same shit, and you're like, oh. So it's just sim racing. Sim racing is a shit show, man. I do like the sound of this car, though. Listen to it, though, in this, like... Oh! When did he get in front of me? I'm so confused when he got in front of me. There ain't no way. Hey, look at this. It's like in slow motion. That's what it does sound like. It sounds like an LS motor with a flat plane crank. No, a flat plane is in the Voodoo motor. Fogbound. The Coyote's a standard crank. The GT350. This guy's got to go. Sorry, buddy. Did I just quit my race? Trying to leave the fucking... Awesome. All right, we're going to do one more race, because then I'm going to get off. Dark Horse, I want to say is supercharged, but I forgot what the spec of the motor is. It might even be a flat plane. I honestly don't know. I checked out of Mustangs before the Dark Horse came out. Bikes consumed me. Oh, Laguna Seca. I forgot about Laguna Seca. No, I want to say a Dark Horse was like a Saline Mustang. Mustang Dark Horse. I know it's produced by Ford. It's a trim model, even though Saline is technically not produced by Ford. So according to this, it's got forged connecting rods, but if it was anything like the Boss 302, they were center forged rods, so they weren't like... The 0304 Cobra had like Manly H-beam forged rods, like real forged rods. And then everything ever since has been forged, but it was center forged. In other words, it was still garbage. Yeah. So it looks like it might have a different set of rods, probably a different set of pistons, usually if they swap rods and pistons at the same time. And that's it. Active valve quad exhaust, if you're one of those guys that never puts an exhaust on his car. This guy. If his connection's bad again, he's gone. Ford. Yeah, ironically though, the baddest motor Ford has ever produced is still the 0304 Cobra motor. From a strength and durability standpoint, not the most like naturally aspirated power or badassery in that regard, but from like being able to throw a shit ton of power at it. Yeah. What is this motherfucker saying? All I can understand from the Spanish is Alt F4. Which, if you don't know what Alt F4 is. I would go ahead and say stock motor for stock motor. Yes. Built motor for built motor? No. You can't beat an inline motor when it comes to holding as much power as possible. Can't. gonna type that in. I'm gonna. It might be the Super V8s you don't have. Do you have Super V8s, Trev? Now his internet's fine. Weird. My God, YouTube, just work. Thank you. It might be the Super V8s you don't have. Oh well. I will say this is going to be a tough track for the Super V8s. At least for me anyway. How's about that for a rejoin? Jump out right in front of you. I'm gonna wait for the race. I don't feel like fucking around. This is gonna be my last one, boys. Gonna be my last one. I need food. I need food. I am starving like Marvin. I'm getting punished for that? Bro, I can't... Dude, what the fuck are you doing, man? So I think Too Bad bumped him, which I clipped him after he got bumped and sent him off track, and then it wanted me to give the position back. That's bullshit. That was bullshit. Oh, way too early. Love doing solo laps. Wow. I'm good. I'm good. Good. That race started like shit. I'm not even... No point to even finish. No point to even finish. No, not your fault. Too bad. Just circumstantial bullshit. Ugh. All right, boys. That's it. Yeah. Not sure what I'm doing tomorrow. Probably more AMS2, honestly. No, wait, we got the test track tomorrow that comes out. Maybe I'll cover that. We'll see. We'll see. I'm either going to do some PMR tomorrow of the test track or do more AMS2. I actually would like to drive more of these Super V8s, honestly. I think what I might do tomorrow, actually, is I'll show the test track, but as well as that, I will compare the test track open lobbies. I mean, I guess I could do a test track open lobby. Is that something people would want to do? Test track's not much of a racetrack. It's kind of a fuck around and find out track. You know? I don't even know if there's a direction. Like, I'm pretty confident you can drive backwards, and there's no penalty for that. There's the poll, by the way. There's the poll. Well, of all of them, I figured I was going to get more I don't like yous. Honestly, I figured I was going to get more I don't like yous. Oh, well. Bait didn't work. Anyway, I need to eat some food. So tomorrow, bruh, we can try some test track. Here we go. Some test track lobbies. Look at that bullshit. 762 hours. 3 hours. Ugh. Gross. Gross. Get a life, bro. Anyway, boys, that's it for me. I need to eat some food. I'm hangry. So I'll see you all tomorrow. Same time, 11 a.m.-ish. And we'll test out the test track. Maybe we'll do some lobbies if we get enough people. If not, we'll just do some more comparison stuff. I really want to compare the Super V8s. They're a lot of fun. Anyway, boys, have a good one.